Hi and welcome to the git-python development stream. This is Byron talking, and this time we're going to have a look at issue 152, submodules without commit. Okay, this is one of the issues that are, kind of bare bone, but at least you have a full stack trace that kind of shows you what's going on. So I suppose there is a repository with a submodule configuration that has one empty or uninitialized repository as submodule, which is kind of rare, but it can happen, obviously. And in the moment you list submodules, this fails with bad object. So that is already kind of changed, so that exception is now bad name, and it prints the name, in this case 48454144, that's head in hex. 1 byte per 2 characters here, that's definitely head. And the question is how it should handle this. Probably better. Right now, I made the repository itself still fail, but with bad name, because Git itself will fail with an error. There's a respective, let's look for it, by the way, let's link it. Because there it's described this one here, because there I think I describe what kind of error you get by Git, and that's common. So let's link 105. Did I sign myself? No. Ugh. And that's really it. How do we want to handle this? Should we fail? Or should we not? I don't know. First of all, I'd like to test it out, just quick and dirty. sm parent git init, and let's add the parent repository as a submodule, which is this one. This makes sense. This folder is unrelated, it's just a folder. It happens to be inside of this parent repository here, but it's not added to the parent repository, so I don't expect any issues in that regard. So let's add a submodule as first commit. Add, I think it wants the URL of the submodule, /missing, careful, and then the name. So I just want to see how this goes. It should work fine. That did work. Init. All right, and now we added an empty repository, empty repo, git init. Okay, it's not gonna get any better. Git submodule, add. I think you can use relative path and we'll make them absolute accordingly. Empty. Oh no, maybe that doesn't work, but let's see. All right. Warning, you appear to have cloned an empty repository. Fatal, you're on a branch yet to be born. Unable to check out submodule empty. Okay, tried to check it out, but that didn't work. It should still have added the Repository, no it didn't. Okay, that's, you know, not a problem, I think. Let's remove this. Let's kill empty. Okay, and let's retry, but this time git help submodule, we will not do a checkout. How do we do that? How do we tell it checkout? Force, this option is only valid for add the unit. Yeah, can I just tell it not to check anything out? That would be awesome. I mean, how else can you add an empty submodule then? Huh. Interesting question. Add branch force. All right. Let's try force then. Maybe it then just goes ahead even though the checkout failed. Git add force. Nope. Well, you know what? I will just clone empty repo into empty, and actually I will, well, you have to kind of fake that there is a submodule present. Let's do this then. Submodule, oops, empty. Path is empty. URL is users Byron documents dev bdeb oss lib git python 0.3 no arg empty repo. I think that's how I called it. Yes, that's, oh no. No wait, that's correct. That's actually correct. Good, so in theory you have a submodule. How can we list them? I think just by this. Interesting. I think git submodule also works by, yeah, you know what? That can't work. But I mean, you can't even edit, you can't add an empty submodule or an uninitialized repository as submodule ever, because you don't have a commit that your submodule could refer to in the parent's index. And that's a problem here. And I don't see why I would want to implement this or make it work somehow, because it doesn't work. So if you manage to get this to work anyway, then maybe you have used git-python, which kind of makes it happen. But even that, I don't really see. And this is odd. I don't fully understand how one would get into such a situation. But what we see here is that at least it doesn't crash on it, but it's also not really added, right? Okay, let's have a look at either items and let's see where it crashes. I mean, I am there already, apparently. Repo commit. And that's where it doesn't work. I think what happens here is that it wants to go in there recursively. It was listed already by git-python. I mean, let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. Like so. Import git. didn't exist in revision of parent commit head. That's true. So there are many ways this submodule listing can fail. If our repository is inconsistent. Well, yeah, so I guess I will have, I'm still not sure. I mean, with the standard git command, you obviously can't even do that. With git submodule, you can't even do that. And apparently, because, this is a different issue here, which makes sense, I wouldn't want to change this even in the slightest. So I guess that, yeah, the only idea that I could have here is that I skip these totally. And what would the benefit be? If I skip these, then the submodule has been added. Obviously, for some reason, magically it has been added. Probably we did that. You know what? I want to know this. If we can add an empty submodule here. Let's find out if that would work. Okay, let's have 2 repositories that are empty, and then let's try to add them. And I think this shouldn't even work. And I would rather make this not work than to fix this iteration issue. Oh, directory empty repo. Like so. I think we still need, it's in gitdb from gitdb test lib, import with directory. With the read write directory, it will be automatically deleted when the test is done, and it will remain on disk if the test fails for some reason, which aids debugging quite a lot. All right, then first, how do I want to do it? Yeah, let's make the parent. Directory, which will contain the submodules. Then we will have an empty repository to clone from. Empty repo dir. Empty repo. Alright, so we're gonna rebuild what we just did locally here. And then I want to initialize this. Do I have git here or do I have repo here? Import submodule. Okay, let's import git then. Like so. Git repo. Parent dir. Oh, actually, sorry. Git init. Parent dir, thank you. And then we also initialize the empty repo. Empty repo. I think I don't have to care about the actual object. Init empty repo dir. There we go. And now I can start to add the submodule, I think. So let's do that. Parent. Create submodule. What was that again? Here we go. That was the name and then the path. Empty And we can use an absolute path here. That's something we recently fixed. Empty repo dir. Oops. Repo dir. Like so. And no checkout. I mean, let's try both. I think if it doesn't want to check this thing out, it might actually work, but who knows. Let's just do this. Test add empty repo. Well, it could at least throw or something, but maybe it doesn't. Empty repo. Oh, well. Ah yeah, I'm in the wrong repository here. Sorry, in the wrong folder, in the wrong directory. Needs to be within the parents directory. Oh, hello. Did I just mess this up, or did I 288? Oh yeah. Sorry, actually. Let's have a look. Can I clone this somehow? Yeah, I messed this up totally. So that's actually the URL, and the path is just empty, or submodules empty, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like so, that should be better. Okay, and now similar to what git submodule does, this fails. Okay, that's good. This is what I expected, right? Let's see what happens if we, oh yeah, that's no checkout. I don't like that. No checkout, true. And still it fails. So whichever way it should fail. Okay, let's do this. For checkout mode in range 2. In any case, we wanted to raise value error because that thing doesn't have any commits in the given branch that isn't even born yet. Good. That's what I would expect. That works. So I can't even reproduce this case, damn it. Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. Why would I want to reproduce this? Because Git can't do it. git-python can't do it. So from my point of view, it's a situation you shouldn't even be in unless, I mean, I don't know how you get into that. Because otherwise, you get a different error there. I would wonder though which state we are in. Did it halfway, or did it kind of do it halfway, or did it just do nothing? It should do nothing. This thing is supposed to be atomic, and let's check that. And now we have the repository here. Okay, there's the parent. Let's check initial commit. So nothing happened here. Really nothing happened. That's awesome. So that totally works as expected. Yeah. So maybe that was an old version. Well, it wasn't that old, that version, but maybe old enough to kind of totally change the behavior of Git submodule. Who knows? All right. I would be okay with that. Let's run Flake. Of course. Test submodule 16. Oh, sorry for that. Okay. I didn't see it because it was kind of caught in the standard Python modules there. not do it like that. Okay. Too long. 6:13. Oh yeah, obviously. And blank line at end of file. Like so. Do you like that more? Maybe. Trailing white space. Test submenu 6:13. Okay. That's good enough. Good. Let's test everything. And meanwhile, prepare commit. Fixes which one again? 152 and 105. Well, I don't trust the parser. Let's give it what it probably wants to see. These are duplicates after all. And we shall write something useful. Verify that it apparently is impossible to add empty submodules using git-python. This is the case with git submodule add as well. This makes sense as an empty Git repository doesn't have a commit, which needs to be specified though. As SHA in the parent repository's tree entry for the respective submodule. When manually adding the empty submodule to the git modules file, git-python will throw and sorry, the thing was here somewhere. Will throw a, what was that error? Submodule checkout path. Oh no, further down. Where was that again? Was it here? Some invalid repository. Okay, it wasn't here. Some invalid repository, and maybe that isn't even visible here anymore. Maybe it is. No. Yeah. Another error related to the inability to find the submodule in the index. Even if an iteration would be possible, git-python would now throw a bad name exception, which clearly indicates that the head revision is invalid, as it doesn't point to any commit. Yeah, so that's a long story, but I think it kind of explains what's going on here. And now we test for this and can hit two flies with one, well, kill two flies with one hit, basically. I don't know if it's valid to say that in English. like that, but I will just do it anyway. Good. The tests are good, and I think we shall just push this and be happy about ourselves. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.